Order, pursuant to the Judge, Title H, Section 1.1, we are now assembled for the state opening of the ZU. And I would first like to call for us to observe a minute of silence in remembrance of the victims of the Turkey and Syria earthquakes and the 1-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine. Thank you. I propose that the following order of business be adopted for this sitting: a presentation of a letter of majority for the election of a seneschal, the appointment and swearing in of a seneschal elect, the speech from the throne, the appointment of His Majesty's cabinet, the response to the speech from the throne by the leader of the opposition, and then adjournment. Is there any objection? Without objection, it is so ordered. I would now like to acquaint this joint sitting that, pursuant to Article 6, Section 2 of the Organic Law, a petition to appoint Mr. Breneir Tzaracomprada as seneschal has been signed by members representing a majority of seats in the COSA. I would like to invite Alexandreu Davinescu to read the letter of majority.
Thank you. May it please your Majesty, the Secretary of State has concluded a general election of the citizens of the Kingdom of Tolosa. We, the undersigned members of COSA, command a majority of seats, as directed by Article 6 of the Organic Law, and on behalf of the COSA of the Kingdom of Tolosa, we ask your Majesty to appoint Breneir Tzaracomprada as your seneschal. This petition has been lodged electronically with your Majesty and with the Túischac'h.
Thank you. I now yield the floor to His Majesty to proceed to the appointment and swearing in of the seneschal elect.
Thank you, my Lord Davinescu, and thank you to all the COSA. It's my great privilege to swear in a new seneschal. Senor Tzaracomprada, you can repeat the phrases after me, or you can just say "uke" at the end of the whole thing. You'd rather do that?
I'm willing to try to repeat after you. Please give me a great forbearance for my horrible pronunciation.
Okay, here's the oath then. Eu affirm.
El affirm.
Eu affirm. Solenemente.
Solenemente.
Que eu, Breneir Tzaracomprada.
Breneir Tzaracomprada. Got that one.
Con fidelità.
Could you repeat that?
Con fidelità.
Con fidelità.
Romplorecheo loifish. This is hard to do.
Repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
Romplecheo loifish.
Romplecheo loifish.
Das Your Majesty Seneschal.
Das Majesty Seneschal.
Del Regipats Talosan.
Del Regipats Talosan. That one's one I'm good at.
Es defensareu.
Es defensareu.
Al miglior da validità.
il miglior valità,
la segurità
la segurità
dell'Estat Tolosan.
dell'Estat Tolosan.
Sa viva el regio.
Sa viva regipat Tolosan.
So you are officially the Seneschal now.
Well, I want to thank you all for not immediately rescinding that letter of majority after hearing my Tolosan pronunciation.
They haven't had time yet.
Congratulations, Monsignor Seneschal. And I now yield the floor again to His Majesty to read the speech from the throne.
At the request of our Seneschal and the urging of the law, we here offer to the Kingdom of Tolosa these remarks delivered on behalf of our ministers. We begin by expressing our gratitude to the outgoing government. We express our thanks to Ian Plätschisch and his cabinet, as well as the whole of the Free Democrats of Tolosa, for their patriotism and love for the kingdom. They have worked hard for their fellow citizens in many respects, and so we shall here say that they have the thanks of a grateful nation. We welcome a new Seneschal chosen by the people of the kingdom, the most honorable Breneir Tzaracomprada. We command him to serve our people, and we doubt not his obedience. During the coming term, our government will oversee the implementation of the nation's third national census. We will also launch the Citizen Service Initiative, working with the Chancery to distribute a national survey of citizens with skills and the will to volunteer. During this term, our government will work with La Società per l'Illustrazione del Lieu National and private media outlets to create additional Tolosan language content and incorporate El Lieth into our daily lives. And we hope to work with Sign and the civil service to investigate the feasibility of adding full sentence translation capabilities to the Oversteer portal. The Ministra da Cultura and Ministra a Savanar da Tolosa als Utra Fioves Folas will also ensure the frequent updating of the kingdom's social media outlets, as we believe this to be an important tool in our mission to reduce the kingdom's isolation and renew slumping immigration. During this term, our government will build on the work of the outgoing Foreign Affairs Minister, furthering the kingdom's open and non-isolationist approach to relations with micronations. As a part of this effort, our government will send a representative to MicroCon 2023, which is being held in the city of Chicago in Els Estats Vencissesti d'America. This will be the kingdom's first involvement since 2017. La Ministra del Defensu and the Ministra dels Afais Utfatsesti have already taken steps to ensure we fulfill our promise to revitalize the Bureau of Humanitarian Aid and International Development. Ministro Braneu Excelsio has tabled legislation on BHAID funding on behalf of the kingdom to support the aid response to the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria. During this term, our government will further expand the current program of the Royal Zouaves in rewarding all cultural accomplishments within the country of whatever variety. We urge citizens interested in command of the military, high rank, and visible accomplishments to join our Zouaves. During this term, our government will revitalize the Patriot Points program in an effort to encourage voluntary taxation and the purchase of Tolosan coins and stamps. We are also pleased to report the imminent appointment of a permanent burgomaster of Eternal Revenue and Tolosan Web Registrant. We thank Sir Dal Nordselva for his commendable service in both capacities. Our government will finally address the bipartisan consensus that the national database relies unfairly on a single overburdened individual and will implement new plans to permit both the tracking of legislation and reliable and secure voting. We thank Senator Marty Forger for the laudable contribution the database has made to the kingdom for so many years. Finally, we repeat our call to Tolosans of all political persuasions to work together where and when we can. The enduring social health of our on it. There is much to be done, and it is neither our national character nor our history to shrink before fearsome challenges. Let us all recommit to work harder than ever to make a sunlit dream of Tolosa an ever more tangible reality. Per el Rege Pats.
Thank you. I now invite the Seneschal to make a statement regarding his advice to His Majesty on the appointment of ministers to His Majesty's cabinet.
Thank you, Honorable Túischac'h and Your Majesty. I hereby appoint under Organic Law, Article 6, Section 8, Baron Alexandreu Davinescu as disdain. And under Organic Law, Section 6, Article 6, Section 9, I ask that King John, Your Majesty, make the following additional cabinet appointments. Carlus Eovart Vilacafat as Culture and Stuff Minister, or Ministro da Cultura e Sabenar da Tolosa aos Ultrafiovos Folos. Breneir Tzaracomprada as Immigration Minister, or Ministro da Imigración. Braneu Excelsio as Defense and Foreign Affairs Minister, or Ministro da Defensa e Túischac'h Affairs. Baron Alexandreu Davinescu as Finance Minister, or Ministro da Finanças, and as Attorney General, or Avocat General. And also Daniel Ceausescu as Technology Minister, or Ministro da Tecnologia. I also hereby recommend the appointment of the following deputy ministers: Deputy Culture and Stuff Minister, Breneir Tzaracomprada, and Deputy Defense and Foreign Minister, Beneditsch Ardpresteir. I am also pleased and relieved to report that our Honorable Túischac'h Luc de Schir has agreed to continue in the civil service as the permanent secretary for back-end administration, and I express my thanks to him now for that. And I finally would say I thank each of the new ministers and deputy ministers and members of the civil service, including those that are not here today, for their willingness to share their skills and patriotism for the betterment of the kingdom. And for those citizens who are watching, I hope you, by glorious citizens, are as confident as I in this energetic cabinet of talents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Seneschal. And pursuant to Article 6, Section 7 of the Organic Law, I then invite His Majesty, having received the advice of the Seneschal, to proceed to formally appoint the cabinet.
We, John, King of Tolosa and all its realms and regions and all that other stuff, we are more than pleased to of Seneschal to me. I join my voice to his in thanks who have joined the cabinet, those who are acting as and all those involved in the work of this government. Thank you very much, and the appointments are hereby made.
Thank you, and congratulations to all new ministers. I would now like to acquaint this joint sitting that the leader of the opposition, Antalya Generos Sommelier, has designed Senator Ian Plätschisch to deliver the response to the speech from the throne. And not being able to attend, Senator Plätschisch has delivered to the chair a video recording of his speech that I will now proceed to play.
Fellow Tolosans, first, let me thank everyone who made this event possible, especially Túischac'h da Schir. I apologize for not being able to attend live. I congratulate the Tolosan National Congress on their remarkable victory. No single party has received the majority since the 44th COSA, more than a decade ago. They are passionate, energetic, and have just made several promises that, if kept, would unquestionably benefit the kingdom. I respect the mandate that the Tolosan citizenry has bestowed on them. Of course, the Free Democrats are planning to be just as active in opposition this term as the TNC was in the last, hopefully to similar electoral success. I urge the incoming government to remember that there is a large minority of Tolosans who not only did not vote for them, but find them anywhere from somewhat untrustworthy to downright noxious. Years, decades even, of slings and arrows have caused wounds that probably will never fully heal. I am certainly not here to attempt to heal them, because that is not necessary. I am here only to say this: if the TNC hopes to have a working relationship with the opposition, and be a government for all Tolosans, they must show that they are worthy and capable of it. Above all, that means sincerity, maturity, and honesty. We can and will abide disagreement and argument, but we cannot and will not abide snark and dissembling. Bluntly, to borrow the phrase from the most notorious album of The Clash, the TNC needs to cut the crap. If they do so, we will be well on our way to getting along well enough. I also urge His Majesty to remember that the two parties running on almost nothing except removing him from the throne just got a combined 74 seats in the COSA. That sends a clear message. You are the king. Act like it. The king must demonstrate activity and impartiality over a sustained period, or he sends a clear message. You are the king. Act like it. Legitimacy in the eyes of fully 1/3 of his population. On the other hand, if he is successful, I, for one, will be a happy subject once again. I say all of this as someone who, about 2.5 years ago, delivered a response speech in rebuttal to a free democratic government and in defense of the monarchy. None of my opinions have drastically changed since then. I have no desire to be antagonistic towards the TNC. If King John is to remain on the throne, I desire no enmity with him. I and the rest of the Free Democrats are ready to work constructively with the incoming government and with His Majesty. But we will not do so unless we know our efforts will be reciprocated. God save Tolosa.
All items on the order of business have been considered. Is there any member who wishes to be heard? No members wishing to speak, this joint sitting is dissolved. The COSA is adjourned to Wednesday, March the 1st, coinciding with the publication of the first clerk.